everyone, welcome to the Felicity Optimist versus Cynic podcast with us. Your hosts, Melissa and Fish. This is a Felicity rewatch podcast. We'll watch an episode each week and join you here to talk about it. And, a reminder, not a spoiler-free podcast, okay, people? So if we mention things that happen later in season 4 today on this podcast, don't be surprised. Not spoiler-free. I am Melissa, and I'm here with my sciatic nervy Fish, co-host Fish. I don't know what
sciatic nervy.
Yeah, sciatic nervy co-host Fish. Hey, Fish. How are you? How are you doing today? How are you and your sciatic nerve doing today? Huh?
I mean, good. I don't really know 100% how to respond to that.
Yeah.
That was probably the most interesting adjective you've used thus far. But I enjoy
we'll leave it in. We could easily start re-recording right now, but
we won't.
We're not. Because
this is what happens. This is our life.
This is real. This is a real moment. Well, what are we talking about today, you might ask? What are we talking about today in such a coherent fashion as we started this podcast? We're going to talk about season 4, episode 2, My Best Friend's Wedding, which originally aired October 17th, 2001. It was written by James Duff, directed by Harry Weiner. And here is the episode description. The normal length, as for what we're used to, episode description. Wrought with guilt over her momentary lapse of reason with Noel, Felicity weighs her only 2 options: to tell Ben or not to tell Ben. And her strange behavior doesn't go unnoticed by her boyfriend. Meanwhile, Elena reacts unpredictably to her husband-to-be's sudden interest in sex, and Meghan and Sean make a bet involving a Meghan Tracy lip lock. That's what they said.
Mm-hmm.
Fish,
yeah.
I normally throw it over to you to start, but I would like to start by giving an award, which will set up probably a lot of comments I'll make as we go through.
Wow. Okay.
This episode is going to win the award for most ridiculous last-minute event crises. As somebody who has planned many an event, if you said, Melissa, name 50 last-minute crises that could happen for an event that would be really serious and plausible, I could do it. And you know what wouldn't be on that list?
What?
Any of the ones they mentioned here.
Well, I feel like the minister not being able to show up is plausible.
No. They just realized the day before the wedding that they were double booked. Come on, people! They know that the second you try to book them. Could they
maybe
be
not the
sick?
Reason why, but like the fact that they can't show up, like
sure,
if they were
give
gonna
us
have
a plausible
air travel,
reason.
or
Yeah, they've fallen ill. A family member has fallen ill. How about those? Let's start there.
Yeah,
family emergency. Okay.
I mean, bride doesn't love groom and tells him. Also possible.
Sure, but the logistic stuff that they bring up, we're gonna name a whole bunch of things. Also, like, it really makes me more question that Sean ate the wedding cake a week ago, knowing
there's another one
that they don't have any sense of what it's like to actually plan an event or a wedding. It now makes that even more suspect to me that they did that in the last episode. So look, I just wanted to set the framework for it. That's an award that I'm giving this episode, and we'll, I'm sure, get into the details as we go in. But Fish, I don't know. Did you have any big overarching comments to start with, or did you want to just get into it?
I mean, if this season continues as the first 2 episodes have been,
okay,
I do understand why people have said it's more soapy.
Okay.
And maybe it's also partly the music, and I don't know if we're listening to the same music, but oh man, it is. Uh, I don't know how I'm gonna take the whole season
I mean, what
with
I was
this
hearing was
music.
mostly sort of generic instrumentals that are kind of like, standard Felicity generic instrumentals, but except for the I Will Survive.
I mean,
I
a
feel like they
lot
saved all
of,
the music budget for a big song.
yeah, the music I was hearing, it wasn't, music that I could tell you who sung it, and it was instrumental, but it was overly dramatic, which
Okay.
is the way I feel like this entire episode, from the music to the lighting to the situations that people were put in to the dialogue, it was just melodramatic.
Okay. Look, I guess we're already giving a sense of how we feel about this episode, not having rated or even talked about it yet. So maybe, I don't know. I'll make a game out of it. Like
Mhm.
this is an episode that you could make a trailer out of every storyline. In a world where lip venom comes between a girl and her man. I don't know. Well, let's just see how that works in. I'll try to weave it in and see how it goes.
Awesome.
I don't
This
know.
will be
I
fun for
mean, okay,
us.
so we are going to open up answering a question that you didn't have at the end of the last one.
Correct. Because I went back and I watched the end of the last episode, and it was, I mean, it was as it was fading to black, such
Yes.
a slight move down
Yeah.
that, I mean, come on, if you're gonna telegraph it, like really telegraph it. I mean, I
Maybe
had to
have
watch
that
it
not be as you're
twice.
fading to black. Yeah. Um, I think it's pretty clear, even though had I not like led the witness, I think it's pretty clear when they wake up that, oh, they
Yes.
just had sex.
I
Like,
mean, they are both naked on the roof.
yeah.
And Felicity is running about trying to put her clothes on, can't find her earring. I really thought there was going to be something about the missing earring. Like, I thought that was going to be a thing. And like, Ben was going to find out because of the missing earring. Um, but that's apparently not what happened. But they made this really big deal about her missing earring.
Hmm.
And Noel is oddly calm.
Yeah.
He's just like trying to tell her everything's gonna be fine. And he's like this through the whole episode. It's this very weird, I, I don't know, like body snatched Noel.
Hmm.
I I don't know what to do with him either.
He's in a weird, it's a bit of a weird sort of like you expect something big from him. You expect either like look, this is the culmination. This is a moment he's probably been waiting for since episode one pilot. Like
Yeah.
so on the one hand, you could imagine Noel being kind of jazzed about this. On another hand, you could imagine him being disappointed or insulted when Felicity is so obviously like, how do I fix, like,
Hmm.
hide yourself, don't come down, like, don't tell
Yep.
Ben, don't do this, don't do that, I'm with Ben. Like, it
Hmm.
should also be something where he maybe feels insulted,
Heartbroken?
heartbroken. We're not
He
getting any
doesn't
of that.
really feel anything. He's just sort of like, I'm here to support Felicity as this like other like out of body experience slash
Yeah.
non-human.
Yeah, so
So
him being like, "Oh, it'll be okay." She's like, "I really don't think it will be,
yeah,
actually, though." Um, and he just sounds so not with it, and she's so
anxiety ridden.
yeah, she's all the way anxiety ridden here. Um, but she's calling the shots, and he's letting her call them. So at least right now he is. I don't know. I'm like he's saying. She says, I'm going to go down first. You wait. You wait up here
Yeah,
doing absolutely nothing. He's like, okay.
yeah,
Like, what's
yeah.
happening?
I mean, so the episode does have this. similar to the last episode, this very dark lighting and a
Hmm.
lot of like shadows and I don't know, it's like a weirdly warm tone uh, to the shots, but I really enjoyed the shot where she's coming down
Yeah,
in the elevator and you see the shadow from in between the I don't know what to call them,
like
bars, the wooden
like the
bars.
gate of the elevator.
Yeah, because I thought it looked kind of like prison bars that she's
Mm.
kind of stuck in now.
This
Um,
was my favorite, also my favorite moment of the entire episode. Like I thought the shot was so inspired and so cool, and it was very noir.
hmm
It's like the
Yep.
black and the white and sort of the on angle and I don't know. You see, I like that you paralleled that to prison bars. I didn't think of that, but it matches really well with what's happening for Felicity right now.
Yeah, kind of felt like she was stuck, but it was a very artistic. I feel like there were a number of artistic shots throughout, similar again to the last episode. It's like just a different way of doing the show.
Mhm.
It's like I'm liking the way it's shot more and like the way people are developed and dialogue is written less.
I know, right? So we've seen Harry Weiner direct before, and I'm just trying to find the ones. And again, apologies because my best way of searching for these things is looking at my units of measurement. Um, he directed the episode with books about ribs. Okay, so he and the one with Princes of Darkness. Books about ribs would have been the party for Felicity's birthday. Princes of
Yes,
Darkness was when Tracy found out um,
McGrath.
McGrath. Oh, he did three assless pants. Um,
Hmm.
and Eunice Crane's beefs. He did the
The
breakup kit.
breakup kit.
That makes a lot of sense to me because we were bringing up some symbolism from that one.
hmm
Okay, so he likes symbolism when he directs. He did a lot of episodes last season, and I don't
Well,
see any that he did the season before that. So they brought him in for season 3 and 4.
if only they could have kept the writers the same too.
I know, right? I mean, James Duff, I don't recognize that name. In fact, no, I'm not seeing him for any. Yeah, I feel like James Duff didn't do Harry Weiner a solid here, but that's okay.
Yeah, he was
Um,
given something to do and he eventually got it done.
yeah, sure
Um,
did.
so anyway, after the prison bars thing that I was looking at, I see, Felicity's trying to flee. She's
Yeah,
trying to run away, and of course, she runs into Ben, who's coming back from playing basketball, where I assume he has been since the last time he said, I'm going to go play basketball. So maybe a
yeah,
couple of days. Um, and he's just, he's walking in. He's like, all right, I'm ready to apologize now. Like, let's do this. And Felicity is not currently in that headspace.
yeah. So I guess like one of your issues with the last episode is just like Ben kind of just being a dick.
Yeah, and then they like 180 him.
And I think they went so far in that direction to make this episode more, well, optimistically, they went so far in that direction in episode 1 so that they could bring him all the way to here. Um,
But
but
he's
I don't
so
know if
over
it
the
works that
top.
well.
No, it doesn't. He's way too over the top in this, and the dialogue
Or
they
he
give
was way
him,
too over to the top in that one.
or
I think
both.
I think they maybe needed to temper it a little bit more on both ends.
Yeah.
But I do feel like what they were aiming for was contrast. And again, that's me being optimistic about what they were trying to do because it's different writers who were at the helm for each of the episodes and different directors for that matter.
Yeah.
Um, so we've got Ben who's apologizing. He's, under stress. He seems to have a lot of self-awareness about what's happening for him right now. Um, and his theme is just going to be apologetic Ben until Felicity breaks up with him, and then he's intense
Yeah.
Ben. He's so
He's so
intense.
intense. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
My God.
I mean, it did feel like, I don't know. He was either like in the military or just like, I don't know. It's, yes, that like intense stare that he was constantly giving with the shaved head. I
Yeah.
was like, all right, this
Yeah.
guy's here, apparently.
I know. I don't know what to make of it, honestly, but I guess we're working through it.
Yeah.
Noel's gonna come down the elevator and I was just been upstairs. I didn't even know you guys were here. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I
Nick.
put
Thanks, man.
he I mean, I put he covers it well-ish. I mean, well enough. Ben doesn't seem to catch on.
No.
But the weirdest part that I found about this part of the scene was that Felicity was like, "Oh, I'm not feeling well. I'm just going to go home to the dorm." So are
Hmm.
we now saying that her, like, what we thought was her off-campus apartment for the last season is
A
a
dorm,
dorm room?
I guess. Looks
It's
like apartment.
huge.
Yeah, it looks like apartment housing, but I don't know.
I feel like
I
this
mean,
is an
I
incorrect
I
statement.
guess the thing is like it's New York, right? I don't have the experience of having gone to school in New York City. Um, so I don't know if like because it last season, we saw Finn, we saw these like frat boys across the way. Like it did seem like that building was probably meant to be mostly populated by students from that college or from that university. So I guess like, I guess you call a dorm could be anything really. Um, it's
I
just like,
guess.
you know, bought by or owned or operated by the university and only students are being housed there, so you wouldn't it might look like an apartment complex, but
I mean, this might change my whole view of what happened with Molly, right? Because, like, maybe they didn't really have a choice if it was a dorm. She was,
I
like,
no I,
assigned
I
there.
think that was yeah I think that was she was studying abroad, so she was obviously matriculated in the same school that they were in. She was in classes with the.
Right. And I was saying, last time Felicity's, like, worst thing she did was rent to Molly. And it's like, well, if it's a dorm,
And she might have gotten placed there.
yeah, she just could have
All
gotten placed there.
right. Way to go,
Also
season
makes
four,
me,
turning you around on Molly.
no, doesn't change
Okay.
anything about Molly. It just
All right.
changes whose fault it was.
Okay, I see.
Um, so like good on Felicity for not making that choice.
Yeah, well done.
And also then like I don't know. I guess I would have felt more comfortable leaving a dorm room open, but I mean at this point, yeah, you
Yeah,
should lock your
they
doors no
haven't really
matter what.
solidified that lesson, as we will see in this
Yes.
episode.
Yes.
Yeah, but you're right. Felicity is going to excuse herself. She's not feeling well. She's gonna hightail it out of there until she gets to the hallway and then she just freezes.
Yeah.
It's like a game of red light, green light. You thought about that game
Yeah.
in a while? Not really.
Well, anyone who watched Squid Games has.
That's true.
Yeah, red light, green light.
Yeah, that's true. That was a slightly different outcome.
Slightly.
Um, Although that would have been an interesting dovetail here, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. So okay, so that's we're opening there, and we've set it up. Um, but we have something else to set up. So Felicity is now in bed. She wasn't
Hmm.
really not feeling well, but
I mean,
she's playing the
seems like
part.
she probably wasn't feeling well. I mean,
Yeah, she's not feeling good
can't.
about what's just happened.
No. She's like hiding under the covers, freaked out.
Mhm.
And it's weirdly, both Elena and Tracy feel like it's totally fine to just walk into her room, sit on her bed,
Yeah.
and start asking her favors.
Yep. Once again, my first this catastrophe wouldn't happen scenario where the reason that they give why the minister isn't available is that he overbooked himself, which he would have known or she would have known from the beginning. Uh, just tell us they're not feeling well. Ministers got strep. Okay. um, yeah, that didn't happen. So the minister is overbooked and they suddenly have realized that they need somebody else to perform it. And so Felicity is the very first person that comes to mind.
Of course. I mean, not another minister, not someone else in the community, not, a family member. No, Felicity, who's currently in bed having cheated on Ben.
Who
Uh,
sometimes is a
hmm,
great public speaker and sometimes
Not so much.
is has panic attacks when
Hmm.
she has to public speak.
Yep.
Um, well, that's it.
Yep.
That's the person that
And
they've thought of.
I mean, Elena wants her to do it because she's her friend, and
Yeah.
Tracy wants her to do it because he knows how much she values fidelity. Yeah.
That was
Um,
clunky. It's
it
like,
was
we know
very.
you value love
Yeah.
and fidelity.
Fidelity.
It's like, what's happening now with the writing?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I felt that way about the writing. I also felt that way about Tracy's face. What's happening? What's happening with Tracy's face? There is there's hair on it
Okay.
that
Okay.
should not be on it.
Okay.
There should be no hair. No. Mustache, no.
Looks. Is it just me, or does he look like he put on a bunch of muscle? Did he have like another role that he was doing around this time that
He was pretty shredded in the
he
last
was, yeah.
season. Yeah, remember they took the picture of him for the calendar?
Yeah, but for some reason it looked like he had just put on some muscle pounds.
Hmm.
Like yes, he was fit before, but I don't know. I'd have to look
Also,
at
he was
his.
in suits for a lot of it, which you know,
Yeah, that
make
might
you look
have to do with
bulkier.
it. It might be different attire. I just kept looking at him and being like, my God, what role was he doing that he got this jacked?
So
Um,
I just kept looking at his face going, please shave that.
okay, well, there you have it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the difference between Melissa and Fish. So Felicity is
Super
very
uncomfortable.
reluctant. Yeah. She's not into it. She doesn't want to ruin the wedding. She doesn't outright say no, but she leaves a lot of room for a no. um, but they've already got a whole plan because in the amount of time that they've realized that the minister is overbooked, they've come up with an entire plan for her. They
Hmm.
can she can still interview the minister. She can
Hmm.
interview Tracy's aunt and uncle. None of those
Hmm.
people wanted to do this. But they were lined up to talk to her about doing it.
Yeah.
So,
But Tracy doesn't want them to do it because they're crazy.
okay, yeah,
They're
there you have
crazy.
it. Fair enough. That makes it easy. Um, it's
Yeah.
kind of like
They've become
what was it from
very.
last time? What was his name? Rod or like the guy who didn't give Noel the job?
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
Rod. Rod's got
Yeah.
problems.
She's got problems.
um,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, they're
We're
just
just
crazy.
yeah, and then we're just
So
gonna
they
gaslight
can't do
them all the
it.
way out of the script.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I
Um
mean, I felt a little, akin to Tracy in this because Tracy and Elena, because much in the way that they have immediately become so attached to Felicity performing the ceremony, I had become so attached to that Colorado job.
I know you were really upset when the Georgia
Yeah.
job fell through.
And, I feel like that's the situation here.
Yeah, it's
They
very
just
similar.
immediately just became very attached to Felicity being the only possible person who could perform the ceremony.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because it really does hit on the same level, I think.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Felicity is going to reluctantly agree. Tracy and Elena are just over the moon excited, but then Elena notices the hickey that
I
Felicity
mean,
has.
they don't seem not excited about the hickey. I mean, it doesn't seem like it turned them off to her doing it.
That's true.
They were just like, look at what Ben did to you. Ha 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 ha.
Hmm.
Huh.
Yeah. So now Felicity realizes, like, ooh, I've got physical evidence of a hookup that wasn't with Ben.
Hmm.
Oops.
Yeah.
So she's going to spend like half the episode trying to figure out how to fix this hickey situation. Um,
And she's going to come up with the most plausible thing to do, which is in the middle of the summer wear turtlenecks.
yeah, that's the first option that you go with, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, we are going to, before we head to the loft, I'd like to apologize to the listeners because if you like this episode, clearly, like, I'm getting a sense that Fish and I have a lot of, like, we're just crapping on it every possible second. So I'm sorry, but this is, we didn't know that this is how we both felt about it, but this appears to be how we both feel about it. And buckle up, okay?
I mean, there are some positive things that I will talk about, but
Yeah.
usually you can rely on your optimist to be the apologist, and apparently not
Not in
this
this
time.
next scene, we can't. Uh, Major event crisis that would never happen. Number two,
Uh-huh.
we're gonna go to the loft. Sean is coming in. Ben and Javier are already there, and Javier is there because he needs to get a new venue for the rehearsal. Why, you may ask? Because Javier forgot to budget for the rehearsal. Okay, this is a
Oops.
thing you would have done months ago. Uh, that is the only reason why not budgeting for the rehearsal venue is the thing that you would. And by the way, if you didn't budget for the rehearsal venue, but you booked it, you're still paying for it a day before the event is over because they have cancellation policies, folks. You
Did he
can't.
book it?
I'm thinking he didn't.
Yeah, I'm feeling like he didn't book it.
I'm feeling like either it fell through or he never even considered the rehearsal venue. Not that he just realized today that he
Hmm.
didn't budget for it.
Because also, let's say, let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say that he didn't budget for the rehearsal venue, but he did budget for everything around the rehearsal and
Yeah.
rehearsal dinner, like all the food and all the drinks and, the setup and
Well, they don't seem to have any of that going on when they actually have a rehearsal at the loft. It's just like people coming in, doing their thing, and leaving, is what it looks like.
hmm,
Um, because he didn't budget.
hmm. And
Ah,
yeah, I like that you really have focused in on this because I didn't even write any of that down. I went straight to condoms that play music when you open them.
also, grievance number three. So, okay, Sean's in charge of the party favors, the wedding favors.
Yeah.
You would not be looking at this a day before because you're going to be purchasing them in bulk. And even if you don't need shipping and handling, even if you're going to the place and getting it, getting it and picking it up, he's custom making, he's engraving, or he's doing something that says Tracy and Elena on it. They don't
Not if
do
they're the
this in a day.
condoms. Not if they're the condoms were just things he had laying around.
But the fortune cookies, he's
Yes,
calling the company later and he's like, have it say X and Y. Like he has a specific thing he wants it to say. This does not happen in a day.
that's
You
fair.
don't save this to the last minute. And if you do, you're going to pay out the nose if they can even get it done.
Yeah, because you have to type it up, you have to print it, you have to cut them, you have to bake the cookies, you have to I mean, look, I guess go with the condoms, but Javier is very clear that this is not a porno shop. Sean should, instead of doing this, just do nothing. Just do
Yeah,
nothing.
because he's trying to decide between the favors and Javier's not liking any of the options.
Mm-mm.
I do think it's
No.
clever that they got the line rubber bands in there, musical
Yes.
condoms, but
Mhm.
the rest of the scene is preposterous.
Agreed.
Yeah, but they do decide that they're going to have like a rehearsal, just a rehearsal. There's really no dinner. It's just a rehearsal. They're going to do it in the loft. so that they don't need to have another location and so that they can tighten up this Elena Tracy storyline and finish it off in an episode.
Yeah.
So now we're going to get to sort of a continuation of a Meghan and Sean fight that we started last episode, where, as you may remember, Fish set that up for us. So they had a fight about.
Well, Meghan said that said that her basically free pass would be Tracy instead of like Elizabeth Hurley, who, Sean picked. Like, usually if you have a free pass, it's someone there's like 99.9% chance you're one never going to meet. And then the fact that they would want to sleep with you is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But Meghan has picked Tracy. And
Yeah.
so she just keeps talking about having sex with Tracy. And Sean has had enough.
Yeah.
He's just had enough of it. But I will pause here to say she's wearing the baby earrings again.
Wow.
They have continued from the last season, and I love them. And so, positive note there, baby
Yeah.
earrings.
So yeah, I do like that they're continuing this same argument. They don't often carry an argument over for more than one episode, so it's kind of nice to see them doing that here. Sean's like, hey, just don't. She makes a joke about sex with Tracy, and Sean's like, just don't. Like, even if it could never happen, it's still insulting to me. And she's like, wait a minute, just you hold on a second. What are you saying it could never happen?
Yeah. Um, I like this Sean throughout most of the episode. The bet thing is a little weird, but
Mm-hmm.
Sean's point of, hey, you say things without thinking, and it's hurtful. Like the way that he says that to her, I feel like it's very mature and it's expressing his emotions. And she is so immature throughout most of this episode. And she's just like, wanna bet it can't happen? And so they have this whole bet about, how they're going to be like whoever loses the bet has to be the other one's servant for a day.
Mm-hmm.
And so either
And the bet
Meghan,
is,
yes, Meghan has to lock lips with Tracy for 5 seconds, full kiss, or she loses.
yeah. So that's the bet. That's what we're setting up for.
Yeah,
Yeah. So we're
this takes some
gonna
turns. It takes some turns.
it does. We'll come back to them, but first let's go over to okay, so we're in the ladies' apartment, but we're looking through the people and we see Noel.
Yeah,
I kind of like that shot.
yeah.
Um, and he has come in. This time it's not a breakup kit, it's a hickey remedy kit. It's a homemade, holistic hickey remedy kit for Felicity.
Uh,
And she whisks him into the apartment, still trying to hide things. And she's feeling pretty guilty. She loves Ben. Maybe she should tell Ben. Oh, Noel's
yeah.
like, not sure that's a great move.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was so ridiculous. I was like, this is what makeup is for. Just put some makeup on.
Okay.
Like, cucumber, what? Like, do you know what a hickey is? It's like blood has breached, like, it's come out of your little capillaries. You don't get blood back into your capillaries with a cucumber. That's not
No,
a thing.
no.
Just put some makeup on.
Sure. Okay. All right. I feel your pain. Okay. I
Yeah, I
feel it.
mean, these were just the things that this is a perfect episode to just rant about because there were so many, just things, that
Yeah.
so many things.
Yeah.
But you're right. The main point of this was that Felicity had to say, I love Ben in front of Noel, who just took it like an automaton. And
Oh,
this is the first time she will just kind of ignore everything about Noel and be like, I should tell Ben. Yeah, it'll happen again.
yeah. All right. So now we're going to head back to Elena and Tracy, who are practicing
The
dancing.
waltz.
Hmm.
They are doing the box step, and
Yeah.
Elena's doing it in a great black mini. Fantastic. They're having fun. They're laughing.
And Tracy is like, this has put Tracy in the move. He wants to have sex.
Hmm.
Let's just get this thing done. Let's go and do it. Elena's like, but but what about the Lord?
He's like, baby, the Lord knows we're about to get married. He knows that we intend to do this. I am offering myself to you.
Like, we are this close to getting married, though. We're so close. Like, the Lord knows
Yeah.
that we've booked the event. Okay, asterisk, the minister backed out. Asterisk, there was no rehearsal venue, but this thing is happening.
Yes, it's happening. They are in love and they are going to get married. So he is okay with offering himself to her.
Yeah, that's great. That's great for him.
Hmm.
We are going to head over to Pavone. And I wanted to make a note here for your reference, for anybody's reference that needs it. This episode is the final episode for two characters before we get to.
No.
So we are not going to see Tracy or Pavone again until I think they both get an appearance in one episode in the back five. As you know, the back five is a little different. They get a little time warpy because they got 5 extra episodes after they thought they had closed out the show. So I believe both of those characters will come back. And if I'm being really honest, I've rewatched that like once. So I don't really remember the last 5 episodes very well. But I was sort of tracking it and I went to IMDb to see how often these characters appear again. And I think this is it in the main story for Tracy and Pavone.
That's so weird then, because Pavone is setting up this whole drawer like metaphor and she doesn't finish it. So,
She gets enough of the point out, I guess, that they thought they could close it. Um,
alright.
but I did want to mention that here because I don't know if that skews anything about how you look at this episode, but you should just know that, like,
I
especially
mean,
with
I
the Tracy
figured.
stuff.
Yeah, I figured this was Trace's last episode.
Yeah.
I mean, he
So
really wasn't even in this one that much, and he
he
wasn't
wasn't
in the
in
last
much.
one.
Yeah, he must have been hot and heavy on some other show at this point. I don't know when Scrubs was.
Scrubs, yeah.
Yeah. They brought him in to close it out, pretty much is what they were doing here. So, um,
I think he did have a mustache on Scrubs,
okay.
at least in the early part. Oh, man,
That's probably what it
I'm
was
gonna
for
have to
then,
go
because he
back
wasn't going
and
to be changing facial hair for this.
no.
If he needed it in something else for continuity, you know?
Fair enough.
Um, so okay, we're gonna get a Felicity and Pavone couple of scenes here in this episode. Pavone has an important thing to communicate to Felicity that has not yet occurred to Felicity. So Felicity has obviously gone crying to Pavone about Noel, about the fact that she just slept with Noel.
Hmm.
And she's like, Pavone is, I don't know. Pavone is sort of like, okay, so how you feeling about all this? She's saying, I don't know. Is this like, oh, is this the worst thing? I mean, I'm lying. I'm lying here. But I know what you're gonna say.
Hmm.
You're gonna say that I shouldn't tell. Pavone's like, what? And she's like, well, you once told me, remember the Randy thing? You said it was better to be kind than honest. Pavone's like, different situation though. Not the same thing.
And I mean, Felicity says so that I should tell him, and Pavone goes into this. Well, it depends. It depends on what's in your drawer. There's
Yeah.
something in your drawer that you're not looking at. Another element to this story. I mean, I this was really belabored. I don't know what the word is. It was not good.
Yeah,
Um,
the what's in the drawer thing, it was like, how can I coax Felicity into realizing
I
Noel
still
is
don't know
not a
what's in the
random
drawer.
hookup?
Is
you
that
know,
what's not in the drawer? For some reason, I thought Felicity was going to be in the drawer, and like something having to do with her not knowing what's there for her future, and this whole thing was so opaque.
it
I
was
just
opaque. And
never really understood it.
I think it was, I mean, I guess the writers were using this as a technique to get Felicity to realize on her own that Noel isn't a random hookup, that she, because, I guess it seems really obvious to be thinking, like, where they end up in this episode seems like a really obvious place to end up, given if you're a viewer of this show, you've been experiencing the Ben versus Noel debate for 4 seasons. But in Felicity's mind, when we close off in season 3, she's like, no, 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 Noel's my friend. I'm insulted that he even thinks like the fact that he has been saying that he doesn't even remember what friends is. Like, I do. We're just friends, and I'm dating Ben. And then they have this whole summer where they don't hook up, but they're so connected and so close, and she's so disconnected from Ben, and to the point where Javier is even saying to her, "You haven't even mentioned Ben, like, in a
Mhm.
while, lady." And she's still going into all of this thinking, no, no, it's this innocent fun with Noel. We're just friends, and Ben's my boyfriend. And I guess this is meant to be sort of the moment where it's like, are you sure you're just friends with Noel? Like, I know you're saying this, but get over it, lady. Like, this is a real this is the point of the show, okay? We're watching a show called Felicity. You're the star of it. There's been a Ben versus Noel debate happening. Are you sure that you and Noel are just friends, like you say you are, or is it possible that the sex you just had was the culmination of
Of three
seasons?
seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, it's like brand new information for Felicity.
I mean, she doesn't figure it out for quite a
It
while. And
takes a
I
lot of
didn't
this.
think that was where we were going with it.
Yeah.
But okay, I guess that's what they're going to make Pavone do. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I
But,
mean, Pavona's doing this. There's something in the drawer. And she's like, "What's inside?" And so we emphasize the what.
right.
Pavone's like,
Then it
"I don't
becomes
know."
a who.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the things that I focused on were just not the things we were supposed to be focused on, I
Okay, I
guess.
see.
My things were, did you notice that Pavone now has a fancy cigarette holder?
Oh, she's
Yeah,
upgraded.
she has. And I I feel like it's kind of like Felicity and eating. Like Amy Aquino does not want to smoke, and so she's got this fancy cigarette holder, and so she can like have the smoke coming out of the cigarette and
Mm-hmm.
like sort of bring it towards her lips or like be lighting the cigarette, but I don't think she actually ever smokes it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
That's a fun.
that was a fun little thing to kind of track.
Yeah.
Um, and the other thing that I liked was Felicity's makeup. So first of all, they've given her the 90s brow. You remember the 90s brow? The like really super thin,
Like, you
defined,
almost
really
don't have
arched.
brows anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, but also you have like a giant question mark on your face all the time.
Yeah.
Um, so they've given her that, and then they've given her and I get that it's early 2000s, but I'm gonna continue to say 90s. The like, do you remember the makeup that was it? It wasn't exactly natural looking makeup. It was actually like lighter than natural. And it was like shiny. You'd have like a shiny pink on your eyes and your lips, but it was like lighter.
Okay.
Like whereas most of the time makeup goes darker.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I remember wearing this,
Okay.
and I was just looking at her, and I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah,
It took you back.
I remember that look. Yeah."
Okay.
These are the things I was thinking because I really couldn't care less about this drawer.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay. Well, we obviously in this episode are focusing on everything we're not supposed to be. That's how we're doing it. And if you want to share your comments, listeners, about things that actually matter, you are totally welcome to do so.
Yeah.
Um, so, okay, let's go over to the loft where the rehearsal is, I don't know, it's sort of like a rehearsal slash just getting the event planning done.
Hmm.
So, like, we see Meghan's in the room. We see Elena like scurrying here and there, trying to get things done. We're going to see Noel and Richard together. I think those are
Hmm.
most of the people in this
And
scene.
Tracy and Javier are also about.
Was Tracy there?
Hmm.
Okay. So, what we're seeing first is okay, Noel and Richard, we're going to pan over to them. They're working on the playlist. Elena has been very clear. She wants zero disco in this playlist, but Richard only wants disco. So that's a big problem.
Yeah.
Noel is just kind of dazed and not paying attention. So Richard is going to hone in on this.
Yeah, I put Richard is being the DJ and ferreting out Noel's secrets.
Yeah, he's taken to calling Noel the N man,
Hmm.
which I don't
Noel does
remember him
not
doing.
enjoy that at all.
Yeah, that's fine. Richard is so suspicious that he immediately hones right in. He zeroes in on the actual problem, not knowing that he's done it. He's like, "Did you get some? You
Hmm.
holding out on me, man? Yeah, man."
Right. Give me the 411. Come
Yeah,
on. You're my hero. I mean, Noel's his hero again now? I thought he was his own hero, and then there was Sean. Richard, man, you got
yeah, and
you
man.
got to figure out, like, are you all about you or are you all about Noel worship?
I mean, bless his heart. Like he he actually has pretty good instinct for like the act. He's guessing correctly.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, no, it looks funny. He got some. You know, he's just
Yeah.
getting right in on the heart of the matter. Noel's like,
Hmm.
no, no, I no, and but he can't hide from Richard. Richard knows. Richard
Yeah.
knows. Okay.
So he's got to make up a story.
He makes up a story which is so problematic because it's so detailed that you know,
Yes.
Noel, don't you know that Richard's going to go looking this up?
Of course he's gonna go
Ugh.
look up. I
He
mean,
says the girl that he hooked up with is Sandy at John's Pizza, and he goes as far as to name the location.
yes.
Um, no way Richard isn't going to go to John's Pizza right after that.
Correct. 100% correct.
Yeah. So now we're gonna get Javier in on it, and so turns out Tracy's family is delayed. This is my favorite lines from this whole. I want to make this our quote, and I just don't know how I'm going to do this correctly. Um, Javier's like, okay, so basically, Javier's coming to them because he needs two people to stand in for the family members who are supposed to be in the ceremony.
Mhm.
But the reasoning he gives, he's like, okay, so Tracy's family is stalking buffalo. And Noel's like, I didn't know there were any live buffalo left. He's like, no, stuck in a buffalo. It was
So weird.
perfectly delivered, but there are live buffalo left.
See, okay, here's the thing. I I I have had this debate multiple times. My understanding was the buffalo are extinct and that there are only bison left. And people call bison American buffalo sometimes. But the internet has changed its mind several times on me over the years as I have looked this up.
Hmm.
So sometimes it says that there are only bison, and sometimes it says they're American buffalo, but then sometimes it says the bison are American buffalo and the buffalo are extinct and there are water buffalo. Those do exist. But like
Okay.
buffalo, like land-based buffalo, I believe are extinct, and I have believed this for like the last 20 years. And I don't know, the internet, it's been finicky.
Wow.
Yeah.
this is investigative journalism gone awry.
Yeah.
You normally expect a high standard from us, but we're finding that this is a challenging subject matter. So the last time I was in Yellowstone, which was probably a few years ago, I think my understanding was that they were calling the live buffalo, they were calling the
American
live
buffalo.
buffalo, but they were calling the food produced from them bison burgers.
See, because they're bison. And bison and buffalo are different species.
But they were calling the what looks like buffalo in person
Yeah,
buffalo.
right. But they call them American buffalo, but they're actually bison, is my
Okay.
understanding,
Okay.
which is weird. And my
Listeners,
understanding is that, like, you know, back before Columbus came, there were actual buffalo,
okay.
and that
So,
those are extinct.
um,
But I could be wrong because the internet has lied multiple times to me.
so listeners, if
If
you
you
are a
know,
member of PETA, or if you are a member of the National Bison Association, or the National Buffalo Foundation, or the Buffalo Owners Association, or the
or if
International
you
Buffalo Federation,
or if you live in Buffalo or enjoy buffalo wings,
okay,
please feel free to weigh in.
please do.
If you
This
are of a
is,
tribal community and you have any like history, like pre-Columbus, please like tell us what is true because the
yeah,
internet has lied.
we don't know what to make of it. Okay. We just don't know, is the thing. So, all of this so that we can get to a point where Richard and Noel are going to stand in.
Yes.
And why does that matter? Because Felicity needs to watch Noel standing in and feel
Mm,
guilty. That's why we're doing all of this. But we also get a good Buffalo joke.
right.
So Felicity's watching from Ben's room as Noel and Richard are standing in, and she's watching with, a guilty look, a bit of a sad, what have I done kind of situation. And Ben catches it.
Mm,
And perceptive Ben, self-aware Ben is like, "You okay? You look like you're gonna cry. Let's go
mhm.
into the room. Let's talk about this. You all right? You're gonna be
Yeah,
okay? You
I
gonna
know.
cry?"
Oh my God. He is just I don't know. The writing for, as I said, it's super melodramatic. And,
It's
everything is taking place at night with this like very shadowed lighting. And, he's looking really intensely at her and she can't meet his eyes. And,
yeah.
he just wants to know what's going on inside of her.
Yeah, I mean, it is such a big contrast between last episode and this episode that I don't know what is Ben. Um,
Welcome to my world.
but I also don't feel like the Noel we're getting is Noel.
Agreed.
It is really like
They've been body
sketches.
snatched.
Yeah, they're like rough sketches of who these people are, in a way that feels not so grounding as the viewer.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. So Felicity plays this off as like, I'm just emotional. It's Lena's wedding and everything is changing. All the things are changing.
Hmm.
Um, she certainly doesn't say I slept with Noel,
No, she does
but
not.
she has a lot of things she can point to here that make a good reason why she'd be looking like this.
And yet Ben continues to seem skeptical,
He seems
which
very
fair.
skeptical. Noel is going to come over to get Felicity because they need the minister now to stand in.
I mean, on the positive side, he does knock before entering.
That he
We enjoy
does.
that.
Yeah.
And then he walks in and asks, "How is Felicity doing?" I mean, I feel like we're on at least the 10th "How are you doing, Felicity?"
Yeah. And then Ben is going to sort of watch as Felicity leaves and he just watches after her with like just such heaviness.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Um
I wrote, he doesn't seem happy. And also,
he
he's not at the rehearsal
but
because
he
he like
doesn't
shuts the
seem
door.
Yeah, he doesn't seem, I don't know if I would say that he seems unhappy. He seems very heavy. He seems very, there's something wrong with Felicity and I must. find out what it is. I don't know if he is
Seems
feeling like
unhappy
he
to
really
me.
screwed something up in the last episode. Um,
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I agree. I think he's going on this like mission to find out what's happening with Felicity, but I don't think he seems happy throughout most or all of the episode. I mean, I
yeah,
do actively think he seems unhappy.
yeah, yeah. In this moment, I don't know. I can't decide if he's like sort of blaming himself or just trying to get to the bottom of it. Like he'll come out later with like he takes a lot of accountability later. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I guess he'd be thinking that stuff here also. He just isn't articulating it, so we don't know.
Yeah. But he does like just shut the door on the rehearsal.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
like with a with a thwack or whatever
with a
the sound a
thwack,
door, whatever sound a door makes.
thwack.
Thwack.
um, yep. Or
Yep.
slam. Either
Yes,
one.
slam. Yeah.
Slam.
He
Thwack.
slams, he semi
And
slams
he thwacks
slash
the
thwacks the
door.
door shut.
That's right.
All right, thwack might be more of like I don't know, like
Don't
a
say it.
porch door or
Okay.
something like that.
That could be it.
Um,
Um,
but Melissa, this brings about the biggest question of the
yeah.
episode. If you were going to a wedding, would you rather have a CD of the bride and groom's favorite songs or a fortune cookie?
Mhm. Um, yeah, Sean's moved on from the musical condom party favor, and now he's trying to decide between these two because, it's not getting any earlier in the day, and he still hasn't decided, and he still hasn't put any of this in production. And Ben and
Correct.
Noel are like, CD. He's
Yep.
like, right, but that was the wrong answer because that's expensive. So we're going to go fortune cookies.
Yep.
Um, at that time, to print CDs, it was not a fast process.
It was not. I was thinking the same thing. It takes more time than money, I would think.
Yeah,
I mean, you can buy those CDs in bulk, although I have not priced, uh, you know, personalized fortune cookies, but I can't imagine that they're that cheap.
especially now if you're asking them to produce a quantity of them in
Yeah.
overnight.
Yeah.
Like, don't sleep today. I know your business is closed. We need these toot sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this whole thing. Um, so
Noel's
yep, he's going with
getting
the fortune cookie. That's the
going with the fortune cookie. And we find out that Noel is getting a little desperate on the job front.
mm,
He is considering a job in porn. Um, it's the IT, sort of specialist on the porn site, but yeah, he just wants to know, is this a good job? Is this a good job?
mm.
Mm,
Huh, I didn't even write
yeah.
any of that in my notes. I remember it happening. I just didn't write it.
I wrote that
But
down.
I can leave it to you. I know I can count on you for this.
Always.
Yep. Um, Ben asks Noel to talk because he's
Yeah. But
so
how does he ask him to talk?
sup with Felicity. Oh, does he say, "Can I talk to you for a second?"
Yes, it's the award
Yes.
for the first, can I talk to you for a second? Of the season.
Yep. Nicely
Yep.
done. Nicely caught. But
Very good.
he's wondering what's up with Felicity, and this is a big step that Ben's going to Noel to ask this. It's pretty big of Ben to ask this question because in order to do it, he has to be saying, "You're obviously much more in the know about my girlfriend than I am after a whole summer with her."
Hmm.
Um, I think he says it in a way that doesn't feel competitive. He says it in a way that's like, I'm just looking for the information. Like, what is happening?
Yeah,
Is she okay?
I don't think he sees Noel as a threat in this moment. I think he's got it made up in his mind what he thinks the issue is, but he wants to hear it from Noel before maybe going out on a limb and saying something that might be sensitive to
Yeah.
Felicity. And so Noel is going to do what everybody else is going to do throughout 90% of this episode. He is going to lie.
Yeah,
Pants will be on fire because he is a liar liar.
that's true. Wow.
Hmm.
So let's move over to the bathroom. Meghan is bringing Tracy into the bathroom. This whole thing so
So sexy in there.
strange. Um,
Bathroom
she's
is the sexiest room ever. There is nothing that turns people on more than choosing between two different colors of ribbon.
Yeah.
I mean, her
Meghan's like, how do I
seduction
get
is
a moment alone with
on
Tracy? He
point
he should choose between ribbon colors
in the bathroom.
in the bathroom. So he's like, I don't know, whichever one. Both look good to me. We're fine. Let me move on to something more important. She's like, hold on. And she's applying lip venom. And if you remember, when we talked to
Yep.
Mandy Foreman, she's
Hmm.
telling us that the person, was she saying that the person who was the
The
makeup
makeup
artist
artists.
produced that,
Yeah,
maybe that exact brand?
they did. Yeah, it was the people who were the makeup artists in the Aretha theory. They did both the like under eye or like over eye care that Elena was trying, and now, and also the lip venom that Meghan is now attempting to use to seduce Tracy.
Yeah. So that I like that they're shouting out a crew member's product or a former crew member's product. Um, so Megan's applying the lip venom as we're working through the ribbon piece, and she's not getting through to Tracy. So she's like, you know what? This lip venom, it's awesome. Got to try it. You have to. It's going to drive Elena wild. And he just totally like, he's just trying to like appease her. He's like, all right. So he puts on the lip venom. He's like, okay, yeah, good stuff. And he's ready to leave the room again. And she just goes in for the kiss,
Yeah.
which he sees coming from a mile away and is like, nope.
Yeah. I mean, it's not quite a Heisman, but like he's definitely got the arm block up
Mm-hmm.
in between her and him. He's just like, this isn't happening. Nope, don't need the full experience here. And he just runs away.
Yeah. See, a scene like this just validates what I always so many times in TV shows and movies, you'll see like uh a character go in for a kiss and the other one like lets the kiss happen and then they pull away and they're like, no. And then later it's like he kissed me or she kissed
Um,
me. Honestly, if you don't want a kiss to happen, it could play out just like this, where you
yeah,
actually avoid it. Because I cannot think of a lot of situations where you can't react this quickly.
yeah.
Like,
Like just back up a little bit, turn your head to the side, or Heisman. Just
yeah,
full on Heisman that.
like if you really don't want a kiss to happen, this is how it plays out.
Yes.
If you a little bit do want it to happen, then you get what every other TV show and movie
Yeah.
does, where it's like, oh, but his lips, I didn't even realize until 5 seconds in what was, and then I stopped it, of course.
Yeah. It just
Um,
happened.
yeah,
Hmm.
not a thing. This
No.
this is what I would do, which would be so insulting and embarrassing, but also like get out of my face.
It would just be a
Um,
natural reaction if you don't want to kiss somebody.
yeah, it's,
Just you're like,
like
whoa, what's happening? What? What? I'm
I
about to get married.
appreciated that they let this play out this way, just to show me that it can be done. It's like, thank you. I needed to know that TV shows understand that this is an option.
Hmm.
Um, so okay, so now we just need to put a little extra wrinkle in things. So we're at the loft. Sean is going to get the door. It's Felicity at the door. She is coming in looking for Ben, but of course, Sean is focused on leaving his fortune cookie order because he needs to get that done now if he wants these things ready. Um, so Felicity goes to leave a note for Ben, to leave a message that she was there, and she hears as a voicemail is being left. And this felt a little bit like Boulder.
Let's just bring that up as much as possible.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, am I wrong? Like, so she's going to hear a message being left by a woman named Janet that I guess Ben met over the summer in his program. She's like, it was so great. I drove by that hotel or that, yeah, I drove by that hotel we were in. and I really miss you, and I'm transferring to Colombia. And Felicity's like, ah, I'm not the only one doing horrible things in this relationship. I feel better.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe it was the music and the lighting and the drawer metaphor. I feel like I was reading way too much into a lot of stuff because in this scene, Felicity struck me as like very Avery, right? She walks in, she asks about Ben, and she's told to leave a note. I mean, that
Mm-hmm.
seemed very exactly what happened with Avery. And then she gets the pen and paper out of a drawer, and I was like, is it pen and paper in the drawer? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what's in the drawer, Felicity? Keep looking.
Mm-hmm.
No, that did not turn out to be anything.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's remember, folks, this is all pre-cell phone. That's why things have changed so much, and you can never have scenes like this ever again. But we've got people leaving notes. That's how it worked. So okay. Felicity's now armed with this information, so she can feel justifiably pissed at Ben, she
Well,
thinks.
she doesn't think so. She says, so Noel and Felicity meet up outside of Felicity's apartment. Noel is just standing by the elevator waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And when Felicity comes, he is like, all right, look, here's what I told Ben. We just saw each other as, when you were in the hallway and I was coming out of the elevator, coming down from the roof. So we need to keep our stories straight.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're going to walk into the apartment, and Felicity's going to just keep talking about Ben because that's what she does. She's like, I'm furious over Janet, even though I know I don't have any right to be. And then she's like, I can't really talk about this with you, but I'm totally going to talk about this with you.
Yeah. And
I
Noel does
mean,
his classic, let me try to insert a metaphor that doesn't make sense into the situation.
yeah.
He's like, no, you can talk to me like friend. It's like flying a kite.
And Felicity's like, no, just don't, not
I
right now.
actually don't know what that means, really. What am I missing? It's like flying a
I
kite.
I don't know.
He didn't choose riding a bike, which would make sense to me. I know what that means, but like, it's like flying a kite.
Well, you have to learn to fly a kite. It's
Sure.
not, and the conditions have to be correct. And
But how does any of that apply to this?
I don't know. Maybe that's why Felicity was like, just don't. Just stop. Stop with the metaphor. Can't do it now. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, poor Noel here. I love that he's like, look, if you're going to tell Ben about this, like, just don't worry about me. Like, I'll be fine.
Hmm.
And Felicity is, I mean, she might as well have said, look, that wasn't my concern.
Yeah, I
Like,
know,
she
right?
was like, oh yeah, well,
Couldn't care less
I
about Noel
should
in this
tell him.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's so preoccupied with the situation with Ben and really her own guilt. She is preoccupied with her own guilt. Ben is secondary. Noel is not on the list.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's really listeners. We like this show. I think we've got many, many hours of podcasting behind us to prove it. We're just not having any of it in this
Sometimes.
episode. We are
Yeah.
so snarky today, Fish.
Look, I normally am a little sleepy, right? But
Yeah.
right now I'm very, very sleepy. And when I get very, very sleepy, I get I get a little whatever the sleepy version of hangry is.
Okay, I see. But I'm
So
doing it too. We are ripping into this episode 2 of season 4, but whatever, they
yeah,
deserved
it's
it.
uncharacteristic of you. This is just
Yeah.
normal for me.
Yeah, I'm fired up. So Richard's going to enter this same scene.
At which
So
point
no,
I just wrote, oh no,
yeah,
and
like
underlined
this
it.
is never going to be good. So Noel and Felicity are still here. Richard comes in. He's like, I figured it out. I
Hmm.
know what we should be doing. I just remembered I'm in a band and
Yeah.
I want to plug my band. It's called Morse Code. Again, they were aiming for the joke. I like that. I like the joke. Also, note from an optimist.
Oh,
Turns out Richard has friends.
oh,
He's
right,
probably not in a band
outside.
alone.
Yeah. outside of the, so yeah, didn't I say Richard would make friends? Oh no, I said he'd
Ah,
get a girlfriend. I hoped he'd get a girlfriend. Okay, well, that hasn't happened yet, but he does. He has other friends that he doesn't either worship or hate and shame at different
or
points of their
he
relationship.
also worships and hates them, but they're just more
Possibly.
people.
There's more of them. Fair.
Yeah. I feel really happy for Richard. I think we're seeing some evidence that he's branched out a bit.
I mean,
It's
he
not
was
just the same crew.
president, right?
Hmm.
So he had to talk to people, either to
Yeah.
get them to do things like vote for him or give him key. I mean, maybe Al's in the band. We don't know,
That would be amazing.
right? I feel like he's the drummer.
What if he just calls phones and answers them? And so every now and then there's like a dial tone, because wouldn't that work well with Morse code? Like there's just phone sounds, like dial tones. And when you know that when you
Some
left the
weird, like
landline phone
electronica.
unhooked, yeah. Remember that sound that the landline's phone used to make if you left
Yeah,
the phone off the hook? It was like,
yeah.
um, that actually was a really bad simulation. But those of you who
We know
had
what
that
you meant.
experience, there's a sense memory about it. Like,
Yeah.
right. And that sounds like a truck backing up, but we'll get there. Okay. Um, yeah.
I
So,
like this. It's sort of, it makes me think that Richard plays the keyboard kind of like the way that Ross plays the keyboard in
okay.
Friends, if anyone
Okay.
has seen that episode, which is he just hits weird random noise generation
Hmm.
at different points. He doesn't actually play a thing, it's just the noises the keyboards can make.
Yeah, we've seen no evidence that he has ever played a musical instrument. We've seen him sing karaoke.
That's true.
Um, but
Very excitedly.
turns out he's in a band called Morse Code, and he's obviously the
Yeah.
lead in it.
I wonder how code is spelled.
Probably COAD, because that's how
That's
he
what I
spells his
was
last
thinking.
name. Yeah,
Yeah.
very clever. They were obviously, they just had jokes they were trying to hit in this episode, regardless of how they
Jokes and
smashed them
plot
in.
points.
Yeah,
Jokes. That's it. But
got
he,
stalking buffalo and Morse code, and we
exactly,
nailed it. Nailed it.
done. But
Hmm.
he is very perceptive here. He finds the hickey.
Well,
Like,
first of all, he is coming from John's Pizza. He's
oh
like,
yeah,
I was there.
there is no Sandy
There's no
there.
Sandy. Then he sees the hickey.
And she's like, it's just a rash. He's like, no, it's not.
You're Sandy.
Yeah,
Felicity's like, I'm not Sandy. She doesn't even know.
no.
She doesn't
She's
even
like,
know what's
who's
happening, but
Sandy?
she knows it's not good. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then Richard's just like, oh, poor Ben. Poor Noel when Ben finds out.
he's gonna
Yeah.
kill you.
Yeah. The thing we're all thinking, right?
Yeah, it's where, Noel originally at the beginning of this scene said, don't worry about me. If you tell Ben, I mean, I felt like he was saying physically, like, don't worry about me. Like,
Hmm.
he might kill me, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So we are now going to catch up with Felicity and Ben, who are having dinner together at Epstein Bar. They did find a way to connect.
Yeah.
And Felicity is going to come right out on her high horse and ask about Janet.
Yep. Yeah. And Ben's just going to turn around and say, yeah, I told you about Janet. Remember, we did the thing for the program in the hotel room. She came on to me. I told you about it. It was nothing. I said, absolutely not. I have a girlfriend. And also, that's not the weirdness because you were weird before you heard this message. So
Yeah.
that's not what's happening.
And Felicity's face just falls because it would have been so much easier for her if Ben had cheated on her in this moment.
Yeah.
But then that's not a thing. So she actually becomes disappointed when Ben's like, "No, I was faithful to you. I told you about Janet. It's fine. What is happening? Why is your face falling? Like it's just what is going on here?
Yeah.
Can you not be crestfallen that I didn't have an affair?" Yeah. Then Ben goes further, and this is obviously a theory he's been working out, where he's like, "Okay, I think I figured this out, right? Like maybe we switched places. Like, I can understand that you're feeling alone, that you feel like, like I know what I'm doing and you don't know what you're doing, and so you're withdrawing. Like I've been busy. I'm a little to blame here. Like, what do I do to help?
Yeah. And
Wow.
Felicity does, again, what everyone else does in this whole episode. She lies and her pants catch on fire. I mean,
Yeah.
it is, and this is part of the dialogue with Ben that I was just like, this is so over the top. I mean, Ben is just like, what can I do to help?
She's
I'll
just
do
like crying and
anything.
confused. She's like, but what can I do?
I know he's just being
Yeah.
like so like overly supportive and
And I believe that there's a version like we have seen Ben be supportive, and I believe that he can be that way. It's just such a hard turn from the last episode.
but we haven't seen this. I mean, this level of almost like plaintive, like, what can I do to help? I'll do anything. Like, we have
Hmm.
not heard that from Ben. I mean,
Okay.
it's
I think they've
way over
gotten
the
pretty
top.
close though. Like I think that he was supportive of her around Julie's departure. I think he's been supportive of her with some stuff with her mom. He's been supportive of her. Like
Yeah, no,
I
he's
think
definitely been supportive, but it's the way he's saying it. It
like
it
almost a
it comes off,
desperation.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's worth noting too that like what is again, I keep coming back to this idea of like what is this world that he's in now? If we think of him as like the guy who was Mr. Popular in high school, okay, where is he now? Well, he's really seriously focused on his new major. But who's in his life? Like aside from he doesn't have the guys, like that doesn't exist. He doesn't have his sports team. We haven't seen him develop friendships in his new classes. He's got the core group. And of those people, who's he really close with? Like I would say he's close with Sean and Javier, but
Hmm.
and then Noel's there, but that's fraught,
Yeah.
and then he's
He's got
in a
his thing with
relationship with
Megan, but
Felicity. Yeah, and we just don't see a lot of that. Like there are people in the circle who he encounters, but he's not close with. He's like his social circle is stripped down about as small as it's ever been.
mhm.
Um, and so like
Well,
Felicity going away from it would be drastic.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, he does have Janet now, so
that's
for
true.
what that for what that's worth.
It's very true.
Um, but
So it,
it's, you know, at the same time that he's doing all of this, the music is also really over the top. So I think that's also part of it. It's this very dramatic instrumental, and I'm just like, okay, well, this is adding quite a lot.
yeah,
And it's dark in
I
the bar.
I like the Ben from the first half of this episode. If I'm being really honest, I'm happy to see this Ben, but then it gets weird again when they switch it to intense face Ben.
Yeah,
So I don't know what to make of it. Um,
it's all just weird to me.
yeah, Felicity is gonna say because now after Ben has said for like the second or third time, "What can I do? How can I help?" She's just like, I think we just need to spend some time apart. She's so guilty. She can't say anything to him except like, I just need to not have more of these conversations. So she just gets up and leaves. And then we're going to watch as Ben just sits there confused at the table.
Yeah, I mean, she's basically going to break up with him, except she's refusing to take the part of the bad guy in the breakup. So she's just leaving him there with
Yeah, she's
no
not giving
real
him a
answers.
reason. And if we're being fair, like there's nothing Ben could have done better in this conversation. Like
No.
he took accountability for what's his. He's asking what he can do. Like I don't know if you're in Felicity's position if you could ask for anything more from him, and I think he knows that. So it's like, what the hell
Yeah.
just happened? And if he had the context of the fact that she just cheated on him and she's feeling horribly guilty about it, it would become very clear. But because he doesn't know that, it's like honestly, what's going on? Like, what happened at this table just now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have to assume that he stayed there in order to pay the bill and
Because
tip his server.
always pay your bill and tip your server. Thank you. Thank you for
Yes.
adding that note in because we
Yeah.
need to
Hmm.
educate people if they are not.
Yes.
I mean, frankly, all of our listeners already know this.
Yeah. But in case you're
Um,
coming in for the first time
yeah.
on this particular episode because this was your favorite, then we probably lost you already.
If
But
Greg can do it and Ben can do it, so can we.
yes.
Yeah. Um, all right. Let's go back to the loft.
Okay.
Got Noel and Richard.
Hmm.
Richard is really going down the Morse code rabbit hole here. He's like, you know what? Morse code could play Depeche Mode. That
Hmm.
could be interesting.
Could it?
Mm-hmm. But Noel's still having a real hard time locking eyes and focusing on anything here. So Richard's like, okay, let's talk about the whole Felicity thing. Don't you just want to shout this from the rooftop? He's basically asking the question, the types of questions you and I are probably thinking. Like, who are you right now, Noel? Um,
Yeah, I had more
Richard
of
thinks
a
of this as a
he's
conquest, like a
yeah,
years in the making conquest.
and I had that he was sort of needling Noel. You know, he's
Hmm.
just he's just like a little splinter that gets in there, right?
Yeah.
And so he's just gonna keep
Yeah.
doing it, and then Ben's gonna come in,
Yeah.
and he's gonna offer beer.
Richard's gonna leave. He's out.
Yeah,
He doesn't want
he does
anything to do
not
with
want to
this
witness
pairing. Yeah.
anything. Yeah. Hmm.
Ben is going to tell Noel that he and Felicity broke up, and then he's just like wanting beer, and he just sits on the couch, and it's just this awkward, like, oh boy, let's just
Hmm.
simmer in this for a little while.
Yeah, I love that he says, "Do you want beer?" And Richard immediately says, "Nope, leaving." And after he says that, and Noel has said nothing, he has not said yes. But Ben takes out 3 beers and starts taking the caps off of multiple beers,
Oh, does he? That's funny.
regardless of the fact that these people have either left the room. Clearly, Ben is drinking. This is
Yeah.
going to be something he's doing.
But it's funny because like Richard really doesn't have anything to worry about here because as much as there's a like a powder keg present in this room,
You
neither of the
never
other
know.
people in this room who are actually in the conflict are with it enough to be able to recognize that there is a conflict potential. Like Richard is on high alert, but they are like zombies.
Correct. But Richard, in his own way, might make it very clear what happened.
Yeah.
So he probably needed to exit before he said anything,
Yeah, that's true.
and or then got caught as like, you know, not friendly fire exactly, because it's
Yeah,
Richard.
it certainly
But
wouldn't be the first time.
yeah.
So, okay, let's go over to Meghan and Elena. So, Meghan is painting her toenails, and Elena storms in.
Hmm.
She just obviously Tracy has reported back to Elena the whole lip venom ribbon situation.
Hmm.
And Elena wants answers. She's like, did you try to kiss Tracy? And he's
Megan's
like,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
um,
Yes, I did.
but the thing is, oh, Meghan's so honest here. She's like, look,
I
don't
know.
blame me for your panic. And Helena's like, what? It is it is a weird way to deflect when it's like you actually did do something wrong here.
Yes.
Um, but she deflects to something accurate,
Mhm.
unfortunately, which is, I mean, honestly, like, what's this marriage thing you're doing here? Do you really think you'd be getting married if you and Tracy were having sex on a regular basis? Oof.
And Elena, I don't think she really lets that sit in, like sink in at this moment in time. She's just pissed. She's like, "You were
Mhm.
disinvited to the wedding."
Yeah.
A little
Yeah. I mean,
we'll
way
see
to be
this one.
gaslit.
Well,
Like,
but
don't you even?
but
Um,
I mean, it's like, can you gaslight with the truth?
That's the thing. It's so like what is there for Elena to do here? She's like, I sure did. And you don't even want to be getting married. Wow. How do you
That
even
might actually be
respond?
the opposite of gaslighting.
I
That
guess
is
so.
just like
Yeah.
complete and honest truth.
It's
Yes,
just like
and
both disarming and igniting. It's I don't even know what this is. It's yeah, how do you respond in this moment, which Elena doesn't really know. And
Elena does exactly what you would do. You would disinvite them to your wedding.
yeah, so
Call
that's
them,
happened.
call them a bitch and walk away.
Except Meghan did get in a little bit,
Yeah.
which we're not going to see here, but we will see the aftermath of that. And
Mhm.
well, we'll get there. Let's go on a walk and talk with Felicity and Noel, which was kind of another nice. They found I don't know if this was just happening or if they had extras who they were like, we're going to get sprinklers going and pay oodles of money for this.
Oh,
But
I
they had
thought they
this,
just did the water hydrant.
yeah, there was a fire hydrant going, and
Yeah.
but it felt like there was water coming out of more than one place. So maybe it was multiple fire hydrants. I don't know. It's kind of a nice shot though of them
It
kind
was
of
a very
walking through with the
nice,
water cascading.
but I mean, it was very clear how hot it was outside. Because for you to loosen up the water, the fire hydrant, and you see Felicity walking along, and Noel is just sweating like all over the place, and she's there in the turtleneck. I
Yeah.
mean, it just felt so out of place that it's like, who isn't asking you about this?
Yeah. So we're just going to go around in a circle here. We've been circling this train for a good long time. Felicity's like, hey, are we going to be friends again?
Hmm. Did we mess everything up?
I was like, don't worry about me.
Yeah.
What is happening? Did
He's
we
turned
not
into
do
a
this scene
robot.
in season three and season two? It's like, Felicity, do you honestly think you're just friends with this man?
Well, I mean, in all fairness, he turns to her and says, I have no expectations.
Um, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Which, from his tone, at least in this episode, seems to be pretty honest. I don't know.
Because
This
he's like a
new Noel,
cyborg. He's just
yeah,
like, there's nothing happening behind his eyes. It's
yes,
like when he has a moment to not be shocked anymore, he might have expectations because
maybe.
he did all through season one and definitely through season three and maybe at times in season two. So,
Uh-huh.
like, you're not an expectationless man.
No, he's not.
Ugh.
Lying. Two liars lying to each other and
Yeah,
themselves.
but it is hard to decipher in this conversation because he's just so like not there.
Hmm.
Um, don't worry about me. Okay. Um,
We are now outwardly mocking
I don't know what to do with
the
myself. Who
dialogue.
am I right now, guys? This
Like,
episode
you
is
know
gonna be
what I
angry.
will tell you? I love Sean in this next scene because we're going to go from here to the loft, and Sean has just had it with Meghan.
Mhm.
You know, um, she has clearly told him that she has been disinvited to the wedding, and he is now going to have to do all the work that she was going to do, choosing the ribbons.
Mhm.
And so he is basically gonna tell her off. He's like, look, you need to stop testing people. You need to stop pushing them away. He says, I love you too much to let you keep doing this to yourself, which I
Yeah.
think is really sweet.
Yeah.
And she still is just gonna be Ice Queen, super um, immature. She's like, well, if I test people, everyone's failing.
Yeah. Ugh. Well, let's go to Elena and Tracy. Um, And again, okay, so Elena approaches Tracy. She says she wants to have sex now.
Hmm.
And so they start hooking up. And then she stops them. She's like, okay, would we be getting married if we were having sex? And Tracy's like, what?
Yeah.
And you can tell, this conversation with Meghan got in very quickly. But I wonder how much of this she was already thinking. Like, I don't know. I mean, I think it could only have taken root because she was already thinking it to some degree. I just don't know how top of mind that question was for her.
I mean, she was spending all the time trying to figure out how to plan her wedding.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit less on why she was actually planning it.
Yeah. And Tracy's like, wait, wait, wait. Like, I love you. We're getting married for the right reasons. But
Yeah.
now this conversation's going to get in his head.
But I think rightly so. I
Yeah.
mean, I'll talk more about it when we get there. But what he does in this scene is he does say we. We
Hmm.
are getting married because we love each other. We are getting married for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And we'll see that perhaps a little later
He's like,
he
oh, is
takes
that
a
just
look at
me?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
hmm.
That's definitely how I feel. But
It might have
she
been
was the one
different
who
if
asked the
she had
question.
received that differently too. Like if she had then reacted to his comment and been like, "Yeah, we do. We love. We're great. We're fine."
That's what she
Um,
does. She says that.
but
But,
obviously not convincingly enough for him.
well, but she was also the one who asked the question in the first place.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna go over to Felicity interviewing Tracy's crazy aunt and uncle about love.
Yeah, they don't seem that
They
crazy.
don't seem at all. They seem
Not even
lovely.
a little. They seem very lovely.
They seem like lovely people who could have
Stable.
easily
Yes.
been a minister at his wedding, but whatever. Um, so Felicity's like, tell me about love, huh? What do you think?
Hmm?
And the aunt is like, you know what's important? Forgiving mistakes.
I know what the uncle says. Having a bad memory.
Uh-huh. And he
These
says,
are the secrets
yeah.
to lasting love.
And he says, your heart gets stronger as you use it, which I think is piggybacking off of the whole forgiveness idea from the aunt.
Hmm.
Um, and you know what? Seems like they have something pretty valid to say about love.
Well, it's certainly something that makes Felicity feel a little more relieved. Like, okay, lasting love is built upon forgiveness. Maybe I know what to do now.
Yeah,
Like I've known the
she's
whole episode.
so she's gonna go back to Pavone.
Hmm.
She's like doing it. I'm telling him. I'm gonna seek forgiveness. And so we see Pavone come in on this scene. She's like, all right, let's work this out. Okay. Just let's show the math. Let's run the numbers. Let's show it on the side of the paper. If you tell Ben and he forgives you, it's all good. No problems here. Everything's solved.
And she's like, no, because I would still be guilty.
I'd feel bad. I would feel bad.
Hmm.
Okay. Pavone's like, uh-huh. And underneath that guilt, Pavone, it's like, I'm just putting it out there. I think that you're frightened. I think you're frightened to look inside the drawer.
This freaking drawer.
Yeah.
What is in the drawer? This is the worst metaphor. I hate this metaphor.
Okay. So, but here Felicity says, okay, all right, who's in the drawer? Pavone's like, oh, so it's a who.
Uh-huh.
Felicity's like, okay, all right. Noel.
Yeah, like I felt like
It's like,
Pavone was being a pretty good therapist up until this point. She was asking questions. She was like, what do you feel about this? Oh,
yeah.
what's in the drawer? Oh, it's a who. And then as soon as Felicity says it's Noel, she's like, yes, you got my answer to the question. Now I can tell you stuff. It's like, come on, don't have a like pre-thought out answer when you're asking her questions.
Yeah,
Like,
I guess that's the thing about this technique. This has been so obvious to her this whole time. So, like, Pavone
just,
says, like, you chose him for a reason.
oh.
You want to be with Ben, and you also want to be with Noel, huh? Huh?
And Felicity does not answer.
She doesn't. But I think, like, I don't know. I mean, I see the point that Pavone is getting at and why the show is trying to hit us over the head with it of saying, like, this didn't just happen. This wasn't, Felicity has been saying we're just friends so much that it's easy for the listener to, like, for the viewer to think she thinks that, she's just friends with him. It's easy to be tricked by Felicity's lying to herself. And then, there's just so much mounting evidence that, like, that's not what this looks like, really. Like, I mean, yeah, she didn't hook up with Noel all summer, but if you looked at the first episode of the show and you asked which one of these two people is she in a relationship with, Noel or Ben, it would seem like it was Noel. And, so now they have hooked up. So what's missing here? Like, what's the part of the relationship they're not in? And so, like, how much can she continue to just be like, no, we're just friends who sometimes have sex and who know everything about each other and who wake each other up from nightmares? And, like, I just, at a certain point, give it up already. Like, it's just, and so I guess the voice of Pavone here is like, can you just for a second be where Noel was trying to get to at the end of last season and realize, like, you're actually more than friends and that at some point this is going to be uncomfortable for one or both of you.
Hmm.
And, Noel obviously forgot. Like, I don't know. He just,
That's not going to be Noel because, again, he's been body snatched. So,
but if you think about it, like, what level of cognition did he have through the whole summer of this? Like, that he was just willing to, like, play games and have food fights and do crosswords and have celebratory dinners and just, like, not talk about Ben. And where did he think they were that
the,
whole time,
I said at the beginning of the summer, someone needs to get an Airbnb. Like, this staying in the same place, this was going to be bad from the start. But I also think, you know, I still think that Ben's assholery in the first episode is what actually pushes Felicity to take the next step with Noel.
Yeah,
Because
it
the whole
might very
time,
well be. But I just continue to be intrigued by, like, what was Noel's headspace in all of this, because he goes from saying, I'm setting boundaries with you, Felicity, to,
mhm,
okay, we're spending the summer together. And then they're like, fine. But is he just lulled into submission somehow? Like,
I think
are
they're
we seeing,
fine. They're only fine because Ben's not there.
yeah. But okay, so now Ben is here. They have this complicating event that goes on, and we're talking about Noel like he's checked out.
Hmm.
But was he just checked out the whole summer, and now this is just an extension of that?
I
Um,
don't think so. I think he very much was just enjoying being around Felicity.
and
And
just
now
putting it
this,
off.
yeah, now this thing
Yeah,
has happened. And I feel like if it were the real Noel, he would be a wreck right now.
yeah.
Like an absolute wreck. He would be trying to figure out, like, do I set boundaries? Do I not set boundaries? How do I feel about this? How does she feel about this? Like, what's going on with Ben? Like, is he going to kill me? I'm not sure. Like, what is Richard going to do? I mean, he would be so flipping out about every aspect of this.
Yeah,
And he's doing none of that.
yeah. I don't know. He is wild. I just keep kind of thinking about that. I think you mentioned this recently, like in season one, when he goes to the hypnotherapist, and there's that point about him being addicted to a
Hmm.
person. I don't know. Is that what this is? Is this just like he's not even, it's like a coping mechanism from life, or just like this is just part of his everyday, and he's not, I don't know.
Mm, I don't buy it.
I don't know if that's a great parallel, but I'm just trying to think if we're heading into that same place of like what is his life without her? So she's just in his life, and um I don't know.
I mean, I don't buy it from what we've seen up till this point.
Okay.
This feels like a very weird reaction from him.
Hmm.
It may continue for the whole rest of the season. I don't know, but it seems weird and out of character for him to be so calm and detached.
Yeah, detached is a good way to put it. So, all right, let's now go to the wedding venue. We're going to spend, for as much as this is called my best friend's wedding, we're going to spend a very small percentage of the episode actually at the wedding.
Yeah.
But we're at a very nice looking wedding venue. Felicity is sort of helping Elena into her dress or zipping it up in the back. And Elena's like, I heard about your breakup with Ben. If you can't perform this ceremony, we could just call the whole thing and we could do another day. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll just push it. No
Yeah.
problem.
I don't want this to be uncomfortable for you. Um, but Elena's so nervous, and Felicity just looks at her and says, uh, follow your heart.
Yeah.
Like, what do I say here? Because it's so clear that there's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, one of the problems is how hideously ugly Elena's wedding dress is.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Almondina
that
didn't do it
was
right.
really unfortunate. Um, I feel bad because she's a beautiful young woman in a very ugly wedding dress. And
I think it's meant to be vintage inspired. They were recreating her mom's, right? So they're pulling fashion from another time.
yeah, I mean, vintage can be wonderful. It can be classic and beautifully done, but this was ugly.
Okay.
This was really ugly.
Ouch.
Um, so, and I don't know what's going on with Felicity. She's wearing like a pink suit dress that's shiny.
Hmm.
Um, I guess pink is the color that Elena has picked for her bridesmaids as well. So that's weird. She doesn't strike me as the like loving pink, hot pink kind of girl. But we're going to see that because Meghan's going to come in a hot pink dress, which is
Yeah.
her bridesmaid's dress.
Yeah. So Megan's going to have a conversation with Elena. First of all, she's wearing the dress, even though she was disinvited. She's like, I want to be back in. Like, I'm sorry. I was wrong. What do I even know about relationships? All Sean and I do is break up. Um, I don't know. She's about as contrite as she can be here, I guess. And
Hmm.
Elena's going to forgive her, and she's going to say, actually, you and Sean are perfect. You should be the ones getting married. Uh-oh. Too many, like, the moment we hit this wedding venue, way too many signs that Elena's not going to go through with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna get a beautiful shot of Felicity pacing in front of she's on like I don't know, like a second floor landing in front of this beautiful glass wall window. I mean, it's like a floor to ceiling window, it looks like.
Yeah. I mean, I'd put sets are more dramatic as well. So you've got the over the top music, you've got the lighting, you've got the dialogue, you've got the situations, and now you've got the sets. And that's why I was just like, this whole episode, it just got more and more and more dramatic.
Sure did.
Oh, man.
Well, Noel's gonna come in and he's gonna say something that I'm sure brought much mirth to both of us,
Oh my
Fish.
God. It
Let's
made me
make a
so
pact.
happy. Let's make a pact.
Let's forget about the sex. But let's rewind here for a minute
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
um the word pact is triggering of much glee
It
for
means
Fish and
something
me.
special for me and Melissa because we have a pact.
We have it. Well, so we took a trip to Fiji, a trip
Mhm.
we've told you about. You heard the stories, you heard the lore of the lizards.
Yes.
Um, but at a point so after that place we stayed that had all the geckos, when we said, We wanted a room with two beds and fewer lizards. Um, After that, the next place we stayed, it was kind of the mystery box because it was a new hotel. We had gotten clued into it by a contact of mine, and he was like, "No, don't really know much about it, but it's a new place, and they have bookings available, and you can check them out." So we're like, "All right, let's try it,"
Mhm.
and it was awesome.
It was like a 5-star resort. And we had no reservations, and this was over New Year's.
Yeah, it was over New Year's.
Um, but they had rooms available, and even the guidebooks say just show up without reservations and you can get deeply discounted like rooms because what else are they going to do with them?
Yeah.
So that's what we did.
So this place was amazing. It had like an infinity pool and it had all these cool activities and it had a full-blown movie theater.
Yes, it did.
And they would show it was just like one movie shown a week.
Hmm.
And so we went one day. There was a movie called, was it A Secret Pact?
Did it have the word packed in it?
Please stand by. Distract our listeners for a moment as I look. What's the name of the actors?
I
Uh,
figured that she would have already looked this up and had it prepared, but she did not.
Okay, so Ryder Strong is the actor's name, right? Ryder
Yes,
Strong
Ryder, this
movies.
movie is probably one of his lesser known gems.
Well, it's certainly not one
Um,
of the first one that comes up on
yeah,
his movie listings. But let's just go into let's just dive a little deeper, okay? Shall we? Let's go back a bit.
this is Ryder
Uh,
Strong of Boy Meets World fame, also
yeah.
Cabin in the Woods. I mean, very strong actor here.
It's called The Secret Pact.
So he also has this movie called The Secret Pact.
So Fish and I go into this theater, and I'm going to say the only people in the theater.
Yeah, it was just us.
And we watched this film, it wasn't great. Okay. It wasn't a great film. But if you were wondering why it's called The Secret Pact, there is a moment.
Hmm.
Um, the movie poster also calls it just The Pact, so it might be under both names.
Mm.
Um, there's a moment where an important thing happens in the plot, like a really important thing, and then the two main characters, one of which is Ryder Strong, that one of them's like, "We have a pact," and they
Yes,
say it so intensely.
very intensely.
And so after that, we just everything we did, we were like, "Are we going to do it? Yeah, we have a pact." And
Yep.
we just like for the rest of the trip, it wasn't just like, "Well, you want to do this? Yeah, sure, let's do it." It was like, "No, we have a
It wasn't just for the rest of the trip. It
for the
was
rest of our
like
lives.
the rest of our lives. I mean, when we decided to do this podcast, we had to do it because we had a pact.
Yeah.
I
And like
mean,
at the
direct
moment in
result.
the movie when it was said, because sometimes like when, you know, I don't know, like if any of you watched The Walking Dead, there was a moment when one of the characters finally said in like season 10, he's like, "We are the Walking Dead." And you're like, "Oh."
Uh,
And you're like, "Oh, that's on the nose, isn't it?" And so the moment when it happened in the movie, it was like, "We have a pact." And Fish and I were just like, "Oh, that's the pact."
yeah, got it.
So now, guys, listeners,
We're gonna bring it full circle.
yeah, if do you want to listen to this podcast? Sure, great, great. We have a pact. Okay, so like
Yes,
whatever, it could be applied to many situations.
exactly.
Um,
But always in all caps.
Always in all caps. And so when Noel started off this scene with, "Let's make a pact," Fish and
Hmm.
I, from separate parts of the country,
Yeah,
just held our sides laughing.
it was amazing.
Yeah, so glad that we could reunite on that right here.
Fantastic.
His pact is, let's forget any of this ever happened.
Yeah. To which Felicity responds, I don't want to forget about it. Well, maybe I want to I want to I don't know if I want to I don't know what I want.
What do you want, Felicity? I don't know. Do you want to forget about? I don't know. Um, she's very unclear, but her first instinct is to be like, "I don't want to forget about it," because apparently Nola's in the drawer.
Apparently. Wherever this drawer
Um,
is,
can't just
it's
forget about it all being in the drawer. Yeah. So now Javier's gonna show up in this scene. He's like, it's 2 minutes to go. Where's the groom? A stunned Elena, like a petrified looking Elena walks by. She's like, I'll go and look for him. She leaves. Javier's like, uh-oh. I don't feel good about this at all. Um, and we are going to go outside the venue where Tracy is sitting on a bench because
yeah.
nobody cares about the bottom of their wedding clothes.
Well, he doesn't really think it's happening, I
Yeah, I
guess.
guess not. I guess he's already kind of resigned to the idea. And
Yeah.
Elena meets him out there.
And when we say sitting on a bench, he's not sitting on the part you normally sit on. He's sitting on the back headrest of the bench
Yeah.
with his feet on the part where you normally put your butt.
Yeah.
And so she's going to walk up and be standing there, and they're basically like eye level-ish. He's a little shorter. Um, it's also not like a nice bench. I mean, it's like a wooden bench, and there are like buses going by on a road right in front of it.
If you
Okay,
thought for
so
sure you were about to get married, you probably wouldn't be sitting down on this bench in
no,
your outfit that you're supposed to be getting married in.
correct. Um,
So
and poor Tracy.
yeah, he's been thinking a lot about their last
Mhm.
interaction.
And he's saying, we don't have to get married if you don't want to.
And she sits down on the bench in her dress. And I just wrote, they sit. And I underlined it. I wrote it in capital letters. Um, that meant a lot to me,
Yeah.
obviously.
Me less so,
Tracy's,
because I was like, it's ugly anyway, so
oh,
whatever.
okay. I see. So Tracy's like, okay, why are you marrying me? Is it because you love me or because you don't want to lose me?
And he's very clear. He's like, all those things I was saying before, when I said we, like, I feel those. I love you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. This is real for me.
Yeah, it's
You
not
asked that
about
question.
just wanting
It,
to have sex with you.
right. It's like, but you asked that question. So, what I need to hear from you right now is your answer to that question. Would you be marrying me if we were having sex regularly? Like, do you love me? Do you
Yeah.
want to spend the rest of your life with me? And we get no response from Elena. All we get is her walking down the aisle
With Javier escorting her.
with the wedding march, or Here Comes the Bride, playing.
Yeah. And Elena
And
gets to the front and just straight up cancels the wedding.
yeah, I was like, this is so random. I mean, I guess they were going
Yeah.
for misdirection all over the place, which they hit, but after the drawer and the like zombie men and all the dramatics and the breakup and I mean, oh my freaking goodness.
And
I
part of
mean,
this, part of this is probably a lack of availability for Donald Faison.
mm,
They were probably working with very limited scheduling opportunity for him and got written into a corner in terms of like, we've got to wrap it up with him. I don't know when that started. Um, so I don't know how long of runway they had before they got to this point. But they obviously, like, they got him for one episode here.
hmm
The whole last episode, Elena's planning the wedding alone.
yep,
And so I do think part of this must have just been like, we got to get this guy off the show. Um, and this is a somewhat plausible way to do that. I think they tied up a bunch of loose threads. And also, boy, was it rushed. It's
yeah,
like, okay. Um, so, there's that. But Felicity is going to hug Elena, and then we're going to see Meghan turn to Sean in an act of great impulsiveness. And she's like, should we get married?
yeah. And John's like, oh, yeah, we should do that.
Oh, yeah.
And so they're at somebody else's wedding
Yeah.
that somebody else has paid for with somebody else's guests
Hmm.
and somebody else's cake
Yep.
because
There's cake toppers that are black.
correct. Um, and Megan is just going to walk right up to Elena and be like, really sorry about what just happened, but like, remember when you said me and Sean were perfect? Can we just take your wedding?
Yeah. Can do you mind?
It's just like,
Hey.
you've got to be kidding me. Not
Yeah.
only did I think they were going to drag out the Tracy and Elena stuff, I thought they were going to drag out the Megan and Sean stuff. But no, it's just all in this episode.
Sure
Um,
was. And Elena does come off as happy when
yeah,
they ask, initially at least. We're going to see Felicity delivering the ceremony. I would imagine in the like whatever next week on Felicity, like they probably had Felicity saying, we're here for a marriage of two friends, and then they back up the camera and you're going to see it's Sean and Meghan. So they probably there were these moments that I could imagine that they could cut right there and just be like next week on Felicity, and then keep the teaser going of who like that it's meant to be Elena and Tracy.
yeah, definitely. But I don't know. With Sean, I'm just really surprised that he didn't want any Judaism. I mean, he is in a super Christian wedding right now.
Yeah,
Like, there's no rabbi, there's no huppah, there's no stepping on the bottle, there's nothing. There's
yeah,
no
there's none of that.
signing. I mean, I don't know. It just seemed a little surprising that they wouldn't have had some sort of, I don't know, that could have been, like, I really thought there was going to be a whole conflict around, like, how they would get married and under what circumstances. And
Yeah.
this is not what I had pictured.
Well, but here we are nonetheless. So, um, I mean, keeping the budget down on the show, just
Apparently.
using wedding sets for more than one situation. Um,
Mm,
so Felicity is going to deliver this ceremony. We're going to get, she's starting to talk about the definition of love, but then we're going to get music um, in the
this music.
background where we're just getting
Oh my
a
God.
montage of people staring.
Yeah, it's just panning over people's faces. The music is way too much.
Okay.
It's overly dramatic. We've got Felicity in the middle. We've got a shot to Ben on one side. We've got a shot to Noel on the other one. And then they're just going to pan over everybody else's faces, ending on Elena. She's going to look all sad. I mean, it was way, way too much.
And I will say, like, of the nature of the stares, Elena is looking sad. Ben is already looking particularly intense. Noel's
He's
just
super
blank.
intense.
Um,
Super intense. And I have to go back and look at this again. But when we see Ben looking super intense at this moment, which I assume is right before the reception,
mhm.
I feel like his hair is still buzz cut.
Okay. I would
But
expect so.
but during the reception, his hair has definitely grown out like half an inch.
Okay.
So like it really threw me for a loop.
Wow. Woo! Continuity. Well, there you have it. I mean, they're
Yeah.
definitely different locations, so I don't know. Um, but I can't imagine that they spent more than 7, 8 days working on this episode. So I don't know what to tell you.
I, I don't know, but it seemed very weird that he had like the serious stare going on with the short hair and then all of a sudden like significantly longer hair
Yeah. Okay.
for
Yikes.
what I am assuming is maybe a walk around a couple blocks or something to the next venue.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to see the end of the ceremony. Meghan and Sean kiss, and I Will Survive starts
Yeah.
in the background. And then we're going to see, we're going to switch to the reception location.
P.S. Who plays I Will Survive at a wedding? Richard.
Well, Richard, because this is not Elena's wedding anymore, he gets to play songs from this era.
Apparently.
So we're gonna fade into the new location by starting with the cake topper
Hmm.
and then panning
Clever.
back to
Yeah.
Meghan and Sean dancing.
Yep.
And everyone's being all silly on the dance floor until as people clear away, dancing silly, we see behind them is Ben sitting on a stage,
Yeah.
staring, dark and
Looking
intent.
miserable.
Yeah, he's not happy.
He is out of. I mean, it's one of those moments because you've got Richard MJ, Michael Jackson on his computer. Like he's starting to do some weird dances. You see everybody else dancing around. Everybody's having fun. Like Felicity's smiling. And then it's just like, boom, dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Ben. Like it was a
Dun,
shock.
dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it was wow.
It was really a shock to see his face.
He's like it's the kind of thing. Have you ever seen that? Like sometimes people will make trailers, like
Yeah.
fans will make trailers
Where
in
it's
an
a horror
opposite.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know if you've ever seen the one that was done for Elf, um,
Uh,
where somebody cut an
Elf. I
Elf
think I have seen
horror
it.
trailer.
Yes, I have seen that.
So it just makes me think of this, where it's like
Yes.
anything, like if all you need is the right music behind Ben. Actually,
Hmm.
it's not even, you don't even really need it.
No,
He's just
this
already
was
really
perfect.
creepy. Yeah.
He's super creepy. I was like, have we really changed genres here? Is he gonna like go on a killing spree or
It was that close. And then, so then we're going to see Felicity meeting his gaze, looking a little blank. And then eventually she just looks down.
yeah.
And because who could withstand that withering gaze for so long? Um, and that, my friends, is our episode.
The end.
Um, Goodness gracious. Fish,
Mhm.
do you have a you're the worst for this one?
I mean, I do. I do. And it is not the writers or the people who pick the music or the costume designers or um any number of the things that we have picked up on here.
All right, well then let's head into it. Let's talk about let's go to the you're the worst segment. Fish, who's the worst?
So, I did have some people to choose from. Um, but I feel like sort of overwhelmingly Felicity is the worst in this one. Um, I mean, Felicity, man, cheating and lying and cheating. So much of it. And I just feel like the script and the music and the dialogue, they were just making it so overly melodramatic that it made Felicity look worse. It was like she was cheating and lying, and Ben is sitting there going, "I'll do anything for you." She is not at all worried about Noel. She doesn't care. Noel was like, "Don't worry about me." She's like, "I'm not." It's cool. And then she breaks up with Ben, but doesn't tell him why, because she's not willing to be the bad guy. I mean, it seems like she is just flailing. She's just flailing and she's hurting everyone around her, really the two guys. And, you know, I mean, it's going to make her the worst, even though there are many other people that could also fall into this category.
That is totally fair. Felicity, you're the worst. I know it's controversial whenever Fish makes Felicity the worst, but let's be honest, folks.
She wasn't great.
She wasn't great. She needs to reality needs to slap her across the face real quick. She needs a dose of it. Yeah,
That's what I'm
it's
here
not
for.
good. Well, Fish, we're on to our favorite segment.
Yeah. Yay.
After you listen to this tape, you have to erase it, where we share your feedback, listeners. Okay, well, given that we see a couple characters kind of make their roughly their exit from the show, or at least the show proper, before we get to the final 5 episodes, thought I'd bring in a couple comments about them. So we've got a few about Tracy and one about Pavone. So at Felicity Restoration Project says Tracy was the best match. And then it's complemented by this one from at K_Dreezy who says, I loved Tracy for Elena. He was perfect for her and they balanced each other. I think that's true. I mean, I think that they were really good foils for each other and complements to each other on this show up until this point. Um, Elena's best story seems to have always involved Tracy.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of chemistry. Um, and it certainly was complicated by a number of factors, namely his faith. Um, I mean, I want to say, I mean, I could say they're the best match. I mean, I haven't seen all of them yet, I guess, unless she doesn't date anyone else. But, I mean, obviously they weren't perfect for each other because this
Yeah.
whole issue around sex and religion, it it drove a huge wedge, and it it like pushed Elena to get married before she was ready. And you know, it ended up hurting both of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know what this would have looked like had they actually gotten married. I think they would have had it's in my own head, right? But I think they would have had a great marriage. Elena wasn't quite ready, but she would have gotten there. I mean, she did love Tracy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was just about timing and pressure and different values. And I think they would have had a great marriage up until and unless uh, issues came up around kids and
Mm-hmm.
like how do you raise kids with religion. That I think could have been a really tough stumbling block for them.
Mm-hmm. Or just when both people want to have a full-blown career.
Mm,
Um,
I think they would have worked that out, honestly.
okay.
I think they probably would have hired someone, since they're both going to be doctors.
Yeah, but
But
it takes a minute. It takes a minute to be earning. I mean, you're in school for so long, but
yeah,
I don't
I think
know.
they would have worked it out.
Well, to follow up on a point that you started to dance across here, at Queen Shalana 75 says they Tracy and Elena were great. And when he left, her storyline was all over the place. And I am gonna have to agree with that Queen Shalana 75. And I know, Fish, you're about to discover where we're headed with this. But I would even extend that comment a bit and say, I feel like a very small percentage of this time in the show did the showrunners actually know what to do with Elena. Like,
Mm,
even if you think about pilot to now, how much of this show did they squander Tangi Miller?
yeah.
Like just so many times. It was like all of season two. It was like, where is she? I just, um, there was just so much of it where, you can kind of name the blips in the radar as like Blair,
Mm,
you're like Tracy.
mm.
Like there were these moments where they knew.
DeForest.
Yeah, like they knew what to do with her, but the thing is, like, I feel like there was so much to do with her before this, even without the men. Um,
Yeah, she could have gotten involved in a lot of different plot stuff. I mean, she was involved at first because Felicity was pre-med, and then it was like, all right, you're leaving me, and um, there was that angle. But she, I think, played a very different female friend from both Meghan and Julie. Because you've
yeah,
got Julie, who was kind of, I don't know, a very emotional, maybe frenemy. We don't know, friend or
Hmm.
frenemy, depending on your view. And then you've got Meghan, who kind of doesn't care at first, and then maybe really does care but can't express it.
Hmm.
And so she comes off as very harsh, but it's not necessarily, I would say, maybe maybe it is honesty in some cases, but it doesn't come off as like honesty for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Maybe. And then you've got Elena, who is, you know, career driven, like can be harsh, is honest, is straightforward, is going to tell Felicity what's up. And she could have done a lot more with that role. I mean, through the Greg relationship, through Felicity. I mean, even now, I feel like she could play a huge role with Felicity being so lost. Like, Elena would be the person to come in there and, like, set her on track, especially if she wants to distract herself from the fact that she just didn't have a wedding.
Yeah.
Like, huge thing they could have done with her.
Well, we'll see where they go from here with her, but I think I also like I just don't feel like they made the most of her if I think about the rest of season four. But I don't know. We'll see what you think. We'll see what all the listeners think. Um, we've got one comment, a simple comment, but a fun one from at Fool for Film on Dr. Pavone. Dr. Pavone had such main character energy. How great is Pavone? I mean, she comes in, it's economical. She comes into a scene and she's like, we need to change where the story's headed. Let's bring in Pavone. Felicity, get your head out of your butt. We love Noel. Pavone is the person who delivers it. It's just
Yeah,
like every
yeah.
time they bring her in, almost without exception, she's there to steer a character in a new direction.
Hmm.
Generally, Felicity or Ben. Um, I do wish, like you had planted this seed for me maybe last season. I do wish we had more Ben and Pavone stuff season three.
Yeah.
Um, that would have been so cool. But whenever they brought her in, it was always like, we need to get things done. We need Felicity or Ben to have this big revelation and chart a new course. How are we going to do it? Call up
Solution.
Amy
Bravo.
Aquino. Yeah, she's great.
Agreed.
But okay, Fish, it's
Mhm.
time for us to rate the episode. So I don't know. Did you want to start or do you want me to start?
I think I went first last time,
Okay.
so your turn.
So I have rated this one in the unit of Morse codes.
Ah, bands or because there's only one Morse code.
Yeah, yeah. There's only one Morse code for both categories, but I'm doing the band name.
Oh,
So COADS. Uh, okay. I'm gonna put this one at 5.2 out of 10 Morse codes. I think it's middle of the line, but I think it's just slightly above it because I I think that this is sloppily written, poorly researched, a lot of like, let's tie this one up in a bow in a sentence. What we never mentioned it before, still, let's tie it up in a bow in a sentence. Um, I think there's a lot of really like unnecessary, all the stuff around the event planning, like fact checking a little bit, like come on. Um, but I didn't want to put it straight up at a 5 because I do feel like important stuff happens here. Elena and Tracy not getting married, Meghan and Sean getting married, are two things that this season that completely alter the course of this season. So tentpole wise, I think this is an important episode that should not be denied, but and just the execution. The execution is not good. And they had so much to work with here. And I actually initially had a pre-rating for this that was quite a bit higher. But then as we were talking about it, and as I just kept railing on this episode, I was like, how ridiculous would it be if I threw out this number at the end of just lambasting it for, 2 hours? So 5.2 out of 10 Morse codes. And that's my final answer.
All right. So I rating gloves, as always. And I actually find the fact that the wedding is called off and there's another wedding in the
Mhm.
same episode one of its weaker points because I had expected those things to have more space to breathe and I
Mhm.
really wanted to see them. Um, so having them all just tied up in like a third of an episode
Mhm.
or less, uh, I don't know, bothers me. Um, so yeah, I'm not feeling great on that point. And then I don't know, it to me the whole thing was just too much. It was just everything about it was too much.
Oh.
Like the music was too much, the lighting, the like melodramatic dialogue, the like zombie men. I mean, it did start to feel soapy. I mean, I was like waiting for somebody's identical twin to pop out of the cake and like, I don't know, rush up and marry Ben all of a sudden. It was just too much. So I am giving it, I mean, I'm giving it a 4.
Yeah.
I feel like I could go lower,
Okay,
but
I hear you.
I'm going to give it a 4
Well,
because, I'd watch it. It's fine. It's just like I don't it's not so bad that I wouldn't watch it or that I like really dislike it. Um to that level, like I think I could watch it if I wasn't paying attention to it in the background and it would be fine. Unlike
mhm.
some other episodes where I just would flip to another channel. So yeah,
Okay.
this one is I don't know, I was disappointed by not getting more from the two weddings.
Oh boy. Um, that's ominous for us, I think.
Uh-oh.
Honestly, like this is not an episode that I would have said that I would have complained about. Um,
Uh-oh.
is the thing that makes me nervous because I'm like, when I've been complaining and bitching and moaning about season four,
Yeah,
this
that
was not
chick,
on my radar.
like Lauren hasn't even come into the picture.
Right. Or like there is another character as well that has not yet come into the picture, and it's just like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. What are we gonna do? Nobody sound the alarms, but oh boy.
Hmm.
Listeners, I don't know what we're in for here. I don't know. Could I be pleasantly surprised by things that are coming? Sure, I am allowing room for that.
Remember
Um,
when we got that comment last season when I can't remember who said it, but someone was like, listening to you guys, I realized there is not a bad season of Felicity.
yeah, that was Colleen Tenbus, and Colleen, just wait till you hear our reports on season four. I don't know. I've always found, like, for me, if I had to guess before we started doing this podcast, and I think I've said it before, but I would have guessed that seasons 1, 2, 3, 4 in that order were also my ranking of like best to worst.
Hmm.
And it has borne out that way so far in terms of our averages, but we will see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like, other people had more time, right? You had the whole summer to adjust. We had 2 weeks. So maybe we will adjust to the new tone, the new style, and it will not be as jarring, and we'll get on board with it. Maybe not.
Yeah, it could be. I think my concern that I didn't even realize was a concern for this episode until I just rewatched it was that I think some of my complaints about how they handled even like the wedding logistics. It's like, did anybody sit down for a second and think about this? And in this case, it was logistics. It was like real life planning stuff. In other things, it's like timelines. I think that there, to me, that indicates a certain sloppiness in the writing.
Hmm.
That, I mean, okay, take the tonal shift away and just make it like this can't even happen. And then you start to get into the world that I'm looking at this from, which is, there are multiple things here that, and I didn't even realize this episode was going to have some of them, where it was just like, oh, we're just throwing this wedding together.
Mhm.
But that's not how a wedding, like the venue they picked was nice. And they had a ceremony that looked the way it should look. And they had a reception that looked the way it should look. And then they had all these other details that fell through the cracks. Like to me, that's writers just not really exploring the research behind, or I don't know. I don't know. Um, but we'll see. Maybe it'll turn around and maybe I won't be so snarky on people. Well, we'll see. I'm
Yeah,
not
we're
making
gonna have
any.
to start calling this the Cynic and the Cynic.
I know. I'm upset. Well, audience, hey, tell us what you think. All right. It's time. We want to hear from you. Send us your feedback, your thoughts, your snark, your defense of season 4, your treatises,
Give
your
Melissa
artwork.
some hope. Like send her some happy thoughts
You be the
and
optimist to my cynic, hey? Uh, you can write to us at themelissafish@gmail.com. It's Melissa with one L, two S's, themelissafish@gmail.com. You can also connect with all kinds of fun Felicity fans over on our Instagram at Felicity Podcast. Also, if you're asking yourself, when do you drop new episodes? How am I ever to know when new episodes of your podcast come out? Well, all you have to do is sign up for our newsletter because we'll tell you. All right. So also it's every Thursday
I
morning.
know. I mean, every time you say that, I think that in my head, but I don't say it out loud.
um, we're just 4 seasons in. We're getting real, okay, with ourselves. This is a moment of great self-awareness. Or you can sign up for our newsletter. Just go to the show notes wherever you're listening to this. Check the link and sign up there, and then you'll get them, and then you'll know. Also, while you're there, you can rate and review us if that is a thing you can do on the podcast directory you're listening to this from. Because when you do that, other fans of the show Felicity could discover this content and become part of your world. Okay. So that's all the stuff. Now, Fish, next episode we're going to cover is called Your Money or Your Wife. What do you think that's about?
I think, I was thinking maybe it had to do with Noel and Doritos chick, but like, isn't the whole point that he gets the money if she's his wife? So maybe that doesn't make much sense. Your money or your wife. Ooh, maybe Meghan's parents aren't so happy that like she just got married with like without telling them and disinherit her and now she doesn't have any money.
Okay. We have logged 2 official guesses of all the
Two.
people who are married on this show.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Well, I had to think about both. I mean, you got to think about all the, but my official guess is the Meghan one.
Okay.
Because the other one doesn't seem to make any sense. Although I do know at some point Bill gets a check,
That's true.
but I don't think there's an either or there.
All right. Okay.
Huh.
I see. Well, Fish, we did it. We zipped through this episode.
Did we? Did we?
Sort of. For us, relatively speaking, we zipped through it.
I feel like
If
it's
zipped
been
through means
over
still,
3 hours.
oh, it's been like 2.5, almost. Less than two and a
Oh,
half
that's
hours.
right. I thought we started half an hour earlier than we did, but
We
we
did
didn't.
not. we zipped at a slow pace through this,
Yeah.
not as fast as a normal zip, not as slow as a normal Official Melissa podcast. um, that, my friends, is season 4. So, okay, next time we're gonna watch Your Money or Your Wife. Fish, anything else to say about this one?
Nope.
Right. We're so done with my best friend's wedding. It's
P.S. Great movie. Like, if you want to go out and watch the movie, it's really good. Julia
okay.
Roberts, 2 thumbs up.
Okay. All right. Well, until next time, Fish, don't hook up with Ben while I'm gone.
I'm a fish.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.